4, 5, and I think I'm not late, Scout.
You're doing
Thank
you're
you
doing
so
a
much for
very
asking.
good job with
What?
this.
No, we're live. Thank you. Thanks for asking, Corvus. Thank you.
Oh, we're live? Okay. Hi.
Alright, let's see. Reblogging, retweeting, annoying my Discord.
All right.
Attacking me with bees. I'm being attacked by bee creatures.
Mm-hmm.
I've
Beaches.
deployed small bees. It's literally 8 o'clock, Scout. How is that late? How is it? How...
I'm sorry to say, Jamie, you were a little late.
In what way?
Well, we were waiting for you this whole time.
No, you weren't. We've been in this call. We've been here. We were discussing
Yes.
the lesson plan. We were
Yes,
discussing
yes.
knowledge.
CT and I were discussing it, but you were
I
surprisingly
was
absent.
listening. I was
you only
listening.
appeared a minute or two ago. I'm
I-
very surprised at you.
That's not even true. We're here in the slope zone right now, which you didn't believe existed.
Well,
We'll just leave that there.
we'll leave that there.
Deal with that off stream. Deal with that comment off stream.
High noon.
Give me
Pistols.
this serious talking to.
Hi, everyone. Hi, y'all. How are you doing tonight? I'm so excited about this one. All right. What the fuck? Google Chrome, fuck off.
What the scallop?
We need a rune that banishes Google Chrome. Oh, holy. Hey, thank you so much for the follow. Metamorphocroc. Oh, that's fun. It's like croc. The word croc. Oh. Hawk. Thanks for the follow.
Hawkacucks.
That one's a good job. CT keeps turning people's Twitch channels into wizard talk shows.
I'm all for it.
I do. I'm sorry.
Okay. So where's our anti-wizard rune, huh?
Okay, Jamie, we're actually going to talk about an anti-wizard rune later.
Yes.
Okay.
There are many of those.
Okay, so question. Okay. Am I allowed to ask questions, even though we're only 3 minutes in?
Do people, understand what this is going to be?
Okay, no, they don't. So I'm going to explain it right now. Everyone, today we are going to be crafting the streamer's rune. For a long time now, I have felt like my Twitch channel, is magically underpowered. Namely, I feel like wizards and witches of the internet and beyond could probably kick my ass. And I need some sort of defense or empowerment against them. So tonight, I have hired local wizard expert, CT, and local Corvus, to, Corvus is here to sit in with the lesson that CT has prepared for us, because before we can make a rune, we have to learn what a rune is. And CT will tell us everything we need to know.
I went a little ham with this. I prepared a little lesson plan. We're gonna talk about the history of magical art and how runes are constructed and how they're used today. So eventually, the idea being that in a couple hours, after we've learned, after we're wiser, after we're stronger, we will be able to create the final streamer's rune, whatever that may mean.
Whatever it will become. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I've never
Literally.
done an edutainment stream. I've never learned on stream, aside from instances in which I learn that I'm playing video games wrong. So this is the first time I'll have actual knowledge leaving a stream.
Yeah, fucking
I was
Jamie.
about to make a joke, but you dunked on yourself a little bit right there by saying you're learning how to game midstream.
Hey. All right. Okay. So Jamie, if I have images that I'd like you to put on stream, what should
Yes.
I do with them?
You can just DM them to me, and I'll be able to copy them into Adobe Illustrator.
I believe you can also attach carrier pigeon. Jamie delivered the pigeons, right?
Yeah, no, I don't. We were
put them in
hungry.
a big tube launcher.
we put
Shoot them.
the pigeons in a cannon.
Bump.
Let's see. Okay.
Yeah, we actually we had carrier turkeys instead, and well, it was just Thanksgiving and also.
Well,
Yeah, you know how that ends.
You know how that is.
you know how it is with birds.
You know how it
So-
is with the world's most delicious birds.
So okay. Before we jump in here, I want to ask y'all, what is your current understanding of like a rune? Like what is a rune in your mind?
I'm gonna let Jamie start this one.
Okay, when I think of a rune, what is the first thing that comes to mind?
Yeah.
Okay. I think when I think of a rune, the first thing that comes to mind is a secret symbol that has power.
Okay. What do you mean by power there?
I think I don't know. I'm not sure how rune magic works.
Good. If you had an answer for that, I would be extremely surprised. Even modern wizards like don't fucking have an answer for that one.
I'm glad. I'm exactly as smart as modern wizards.
Yeah.
There you go.
So what about you, Corvus? What is your understanding of like a rune?
I'm familiar with the runic alphabet of the Norse peoples.
Mm-hmm.
I'm familiar with Elder Futhark, Young Futhark. And I think if before I did that research, before I started studying that, I think if you'd asked me, I would have said, well, probably like the Daedric runic alphabet from the Elder Scrolls series.
Right. Which
I'm a
is
big fan.
I know it is actually based off of an existing language or an existing alphabet. Yeah,
That's
I know which
fascinating.
one.
I do not know. I assume you know which one, and you'll be telling us today.
I do. It's we'll probably come back to this later, but it's based on the demiotic script for ancient Egyptian
Okay.
language. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Aside from that, I would say pretty much what Jamie had said, that they have some sort of power, although I would attribute it more to like a blessing or a request for some kind of force to occur. I did get a little peek at the Icelandic magical staves.
Oh,
and
those
the
are
symbols,
fun.
and looking over them, I see a lot of them are for protection or for aid in some kind of crisis.
Yeah. That's a very good description of like what runes and like magical symbols are for. But part of what we're gonna be exploring today is like, what is it? Like, what's that relationship between like a power and an image? So, Jamie, I'm actually going to send you the first image.
Oh fuck yes.
As we all know, chat, images do contain power. I think I have a rune that I'd also like to share with Jamie to get the point across.
Okay.
Ooh.
Jamie.
Okay. So CT's giving me an image and Corvus is giving me an image. Do you want me to put both on screen and have chat guess who sent me what?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, hurry up and send it, Corvus.
Okay, hold on.
Come on.
Hold on. My brush
Hurry
has waited. My brush has waited. Hold on. Okay. I've snipped it. I am sending it. Putting it in the pigeon.
Oh man, this is gonna be... Oh man, chat. Okay. So, this is gonna be a tough one for you, I think. So these are two, I would say, similar images. So I'm gonna need you... Okay. One of these is CT's, and one of these is Corvus's. I will send you one of them first. I am not sending them in necessarily the order that they were given to me, but this is image one. It is a little bit hard to see, but I'm moving it around. It's like triangles. So, is this the work of Corvus, or is this something CT has sent me? Now here comes image two. So which one do you think was sent to me by CT, and which one do you think was sent by Corvus?
The images have power.
They do. This shouldn't be this funny.
Kappa says, I mean, the second one does have a kind of power. Yeah, see? All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so obviously CT sent me these wonderful little triangles. Explain your point.
So, okay. This symbol, these triangles here,
Yes.
that is actually the oldest magical symbol in human history.
Wait, really? What's it do?
Yes. This is called the tetrachus. It is from ancient Greece. It shows up around the 6th century BC, so like 600 years before Christ.
Mhm.
This is a central image in what is called Pythagoreanism, which is like, you know, Pythagoras, the triangle guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he ran what is basically like a math cult.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm familiar with Pythagoras' math cult.
Yeah, okay, it's not really a math cult, but it's funny when you call it that, and it's a
Right.
useful description. So, okay, this set of triangles, this tetrachus, this represents to the Pythagoreans the essential structure of reality. This is a symbolic representation of how the world came into being.
Okay.
Huh.
Yeah. So it starts up at the top where with just like a dot, right?
Wait, question. Before I go any
is
further.
this the all?
Okay.
Kinda.
Sorry. I interrupted. Jamie, I apologize.
One quick question. I am fucking with it with filters. Is that going to be bad? Like, is that disrespectful?
No.
Okay,
The there have not been practicing Pythagoreans for more than around 3,000 years at this point. You're fine.
So if I get angry anons about Pythagoreanism, I know it's people dicking with me. Okay.
Listen, if there's a particularly sacred image that we're going to talk about here, I will mention it to you.
Right. Thank you. I just didn't want to
feel free to fuck with
immediately.
this.
It's so beautiful. It's wonderful. I love this triangles. I want to incorporate it.
The ancient
I'm
Greeks
putting
coming
it
for
in
your
here.
fucking ass.
See, like, I don't want that to happen. I don't want to be rude to them.
Hey,
Exactly.
look, one of my friends is Greek, and you just desecrated the sacred triangle.
Yeah, you fucked with the tetrachus, which wasn't even a part of Greek religion. It was a part of Pythagoras' weird math cult.
I fucked with the math cult. Now they're gonna take my ass to numbers.
You are going to number.
Anyway, so sorry for interrupting. I just wanted to make sure I was allowed to incorporate some of these to the overlay as we go on, because I am so fucking excited about symbols and pictures.
Please, I swear to, like, ask as many questions as you have. Like, if you have a question, it means that 30,000 people in the audience have that same question. So if a thought floats into your little brain, like, squirt it out as fast as you can.
I love the description.
Not over, and we are sending your ass to number. Because that's like kind of what they thought happened when you died.
What?
You got your ass taken to the number realm?
Well, so okay,
No, that's fascinating. Like, what? How many decades were they before code?
Oh, so many.
God.
So many.
This is not just like before code. This is like before the invention of like ciphers. Like, this is before the invention of coding information.
Holy shit.
Yeah, this is like old shit. So the way that the tetrachus works, like, you've got that one dot up at the top. That represents kind of the primordial state of the universe. Like,
Quintessence.
Kinda back, like, this is the Pythagoreans, so it's they don't call it the quintessence, they call it the one eventually. But so for the ancient Greeks, everything was math, right? Specifically, it was geometry. It's they saw the world not as being made of like atoms and like little grains of sand floating around. They saw it as being made of like angles and lines and like ratios, mathematical representations between other things. Like, this, to them, geometry was like the glue holding the universe together. And it was the purest expression of mathematics to them.
Right.
And so the simplest form, the barest, most atomic form of geometry is a dot. It's just like a little dot.
Right.
Point, a single location in space. And then from there, you get two dots, and then you can draw a line between those. And then from there, you get three, you can create a plane. And then from there, you get, like, this gets expanded upon like mystically, like the geometry mixes with like religion and mysticism, and the four dots at the bottom are usually considered to be representations of either the four cardinal directions, like the spatial dimensions, or the four elements. And so that's generally how they were, like, that's kind of what this describes. Like, the Tetrarchus describes like the fundamental like core of reality kind of unfolding into all of the meat and trees and girls that make up the world.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm kind of understanding the concept now. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And like, so will we be covering Platonic solids in this stream? No, probably not, but that is a good thing. Like, I'll mention it real quick. Plato did kind of see the world as being made of like atoms and stuff. Like, he's like, well, there has to be a smallest particle, right? And so he figured it was just made of the simplest structures that you can make with geometry. And so he was like, maybe fire is made of tiny triangles. Like, you know, like a D4.
Yeah.
That's what he thought fire atoms looked like.
Huh.
Yeah.
Hey, Marlo Paz,
There's-
thanks for the subscription.
Yeah, so Plato kind of thought you have adopted a worm worker.
Another
yeah.
one is saved from the grinder. Thank you.
Yay!
Every unadopted worm worker dies after the stream. Subscribe or we put them in the
Oh.
big squisher.
And the tetrahedron can be unfolded onto a two-dimensional surface.
Yeah.
And so can the hexahedron and the octahedron. Oh.
Yeah, and especially the Neopythagoreans and the Neoplatonists especially, they loved the Platonic solids that you could unfold and make like a tessellation, right? Where they could like fit together perfectly. And this is one of them.
Because that would be perfect proof.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah, I'm about to convert.
Right? Wait, well, if you're gonna convert, you're not allowed to eat beans ever.
I know.
Yeah. Sorry.
God.
Wait, really?
Yeah, no,
Yeah, he was. What was he? Deathly afraid of beans, or is that?
we don't know why he banned his followers from eating beans. People say that they know, and they don't actually know. We have no idea why. Like, one of the reasons that one of his biographers gave was that beans have no joints, so they're like the gates of Hades. Whatever the fuck that means.
Really?
Yeah.
I get the idea, cause a bean is like if a plant was meat, and that can scare you in a way. But like, really?
The theory that I subscribe to with the beans thing is that, like, in a lot of cultures around this time, the soul was kind of equated with like the breath. You know, it's like if you own like a blanket and you use it for like a year or whatever, and then you give it to somebody else, it's gonna smell like you. It's gonna smell like your breath, like your sweat and everything. And like that, there's something kind of ephemeral about that.
Oh, so if beans can change your scent, if they can change the breath.
No.
No?
It's because beans make you fart your soul out. I'm
For real?
I'm
For
not
real?
shitting you. I think that's like one of the more legitimate theories.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it sounds so like funny poo-poo pee-pee humor, but it like might actually be why.
That's insane to me.
So
That's
okay,
hilarious.
I've got some other Tetrarchuses for you.
Okay.
Yes.
So here's some other examples of like people who use the Tetrarchus later. Like, we'll come back to this. And the most recent one that I'm selling you, like, this is actually a sacred symbol. Don't fuck with this one.
Okay, don't fuck with this one.
It's the one that looks super sacred.
Okay, makes sense. I'm going to...
Well, it's kind of it's not really a sacred symbol, but it involves a sacred symbol. Like, yeah, just don't fuck with this one.
I'm curious now to see which one it is. Oh, yes. Okay,
No, it's not this one. It's not this one. So if you blow this one up, So the one on the left, that is the coat of arms for an archbishop.
Right.
Right.
And you see the knots on either side, they make a little tetrachus.
Mhm.
Oh, they do. I see it
Yeah.
now. Okay.
Yeah, and it's like it's just describes how God kind of flows into the world. Like
Mhm.
like the Neopythagoreans were like super popular around the time like right after Jesus died,
Mhm.
and like the Jews were trying to figure out how to like be Jewish in the diaspora era, and the Catholics were trying to figure out what it meant to be Catholic, and everyone like there was all this like cultural overlap, and everyone was killing each other and making friends, and like there was all this cultural exchange, and these ideas about like the specifically like Neo-Pythagoreanism were super influential on like both Christian and Jewish and later Islamic esoterica. And so on the right, that is this is much later. This is like from the 17th century, but this is a representation of like it's a combination of the Christian Sacred Heart with the Jewish Tetragrammaton, like one of the sacred names of God, uh, in the shape of a tetrachus, right?
Mhm.
This is Burma's like attempt to kind of be syncretic, kind of like try to fit all of these ideas back into a single symbol. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's like, can I explain what Neo-Pythagoreanism is?
And
So
can I explain in the same fell swoop the Jewish religion and also put Christus around it?
yeah, yeah. Oh my God. Okay, actually, yeah. Let's talk
Question:
about Neo.
Why is it an upside down heart shape around the
I
outside?
see. Okay, I'm kind of. You've kind of played my hand here. I haven't actually read Burma. I don't know.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm just curious to see if you do, because I'm seeing all these symbols and I'm like, I recognize these. I understand. I've seen these. I know these, but like never by name, never by true understanding, but rather a glancing understanding, as if in the allegory of the cave.
Right, right. And like we'll talk about we are going to talk about like the Hebrew language later, but like the whole
Okay.
point of like Burma's Burma's use of the tetrachus and the tetragrammaton and the Sacred Heart all in the same symbol, not the sort of thing that Jewish people may necessarily appreciate, if that makes
Right.
sense. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you get it. So someone in chat asked me to explain Neo-Pythagoreanism. So we were talking about Pythagoras' math cult earlier, right?
Right.
So Jamie, here's the thing about people that run cults.
Uh-huh.
Eventually they die,
Right.
and that's like
Very bad for all the followers.
well,
Immediately
you're a-
bad.
if you're a cult leader and you're like, fuck, my followers are just like too ideologically cohesive, like they're just too good at like working together and getting along with each other, the best thing that you can do is kill yourself, because that will immediately cause a schism.
That's true. That's true.
Like if you want to really screw up a cult, just let the leader die. That's it.
Okay.
Hey, I think the CIA may have agreed with you at certain points.
Yeah.
Well, and philosophical ideas come and go over history. So basically,
Mhm.
a couple hundred years after Pythagoras died, he had a couple of his like students got together and were like, "Hey, this guy might have like known some cool shit," and they formed this group that people nowadays call the Neo-Pythagoreans, like people that were okay. You've got Pythagoras, you've got Plato, right? The Neo-Pythagoreans were like, what if we combined the two ideas? And the way that they saw themselves was like, we are the people in Plato's academy that have correct opinions about Plato, right? That was how they saw themselves. And Neopythagoreanism introduced three super fucking important ideas for the rest of magical history.
Right.
The first was this idea of the one. like the dot at the top of the pyramid there, the thing that causes everything else.
Okay.
And then
Monotheism.
actually henotheism, because
Henotheism.
yeah, no, this is a fun one. So let's say that you are the big main Neopythagorean. Let's say that you're Proclus, and you're
Okay, I'm Proclus.
yeah, you are Proclus. Congratulations.
Why does
Thank
Clovis
you.
get to be
Okay.
Proclus?
Jamie, you can be Porphyry.
someone else.
Yeah, you can be Porphyry.
Okay, I'm Porphyry.
All right. So you're both hanging out. Actually, at one point, Proclus was homeless and had to live in Porphyry's house.
Well, this happens.
How do you like
Yeah.
it now, Procles?
It happens. It happens.
Nice job living in my laundry room, idiot. Yeah, get fucked. So you're just like hanging out in the academy, and you're just trying to do fun wizard shit, right?
Right.
You're trying to be a philosopher, and there's all these like there's all these Christians and Jews and like Zoroastrians and Egyptians running around, and they all have very different opinions about how God works. So-
and none of them could be more wrong, and I couldn't be more right.
Well, because here's the thing: you're a philosopher, and you have the correct interpretations of Plato, so you are literally the most right people on the planet.
Exactly.
You have the best opinions. You can prove it with math.
Mhm.
That's unironically how a lot of these guys saw themselves.
Wait, seriously?
Yes.
Oh.
No. Literally. The Greeks were like super into their own philosophy.
They still are to this very day.
So, part of the goal of Neopythagoreanism was like, let's create. It's like, how do we talk about God in a way that like monotheism can exist, but it doesn't deny the existence of other religions, right? Like, how does it?
Okay.
How do we mesh these two things? And what they came up with is henotheism.
Mhm.
Basically the idea is that like you've got the one, which everything comes from, including every god on earth, right? They're all just fragments of the one, which is
Okay.
like kind of eternally transcendent. Yeah. And then, but the thing that we interact with, the thing that we smell and touch, that's like made of atoms and trees and meat and whatever,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
that's called the many. That was the second big idea they introduced. And the third one that they introduced was the idea of the hypostases, which, Jamie, I've got another fun diagram for you.
Okay, so I'm noticing that it's the one, the many, and the hypostases. So, kind of a leap in complexity, if I'm not mistaken.
Kind of. Okay, the
Kind
original.
of a bomb logic looking.
So if you got the one, it's infinite, right? If the one is like infinite and transcendent, and it causes everything,
Mhm.
How does an infinite thing become meat and trees and girls, which are decidedly very finite, right?
Mhm.
Right.
Unfortunately.
You made an Amogus.
Amogus.
Tetramogus. So see these little like so each dot in between like the bottom four there, that's the many.
Mhm.
The dot on the top, that's the one. All of the things in between, those are hypostases, right?
Okay.
It's basically like it's like how the one kind of shatters and squeezes and squirts itself down into material reality. Like how it kind of like squeezes itself into a big tube or whatever to become non-infinite.
Okay.
This is a super, like, I'm not going to explain this diagram to you because it's super
Right.
complicated, but it will come up later. And if anyone in chat is familiar with Kabbalah, you're probably noticing some things with this diagram. Like elemental components. So, okay, that's So what all of this means for magical history, like what the reason that we're all talking about this is that the idea of like diagramming something that is kind of by nature impossible to describe
Right.
forms kind of the core of how magical art works for the rest of history.
Mhm.
Everything I've shown you here, like trying to represent these ideas graphically, this is like the seed of what creates how like all rune magic and all like ritual symbols work for the rest of history.
Interesting.
Okay.
So this pea pod looking thing makes all the other stuff that we're gonna talk about later happen?
Yeah.
Huh.
So now we get we're gonna talk about some little guys.
Some little guys.
Some little guys. I've got some more images for you.
Oh, please be about
Ooh.
homunculuses.
Oh, unfortunately, no. But I've got something.
No!
I've got something that you're gonna enjoy here.
Oh boy. All
We're
right.
gonna
let's-
We are gonna talk about ancient Egyptian graphical art.
Yippee!
Well, I am just so excited.
Okay. You see these dudes?
Mm-hmm.
On the left there, that's Thoth.
Mhm.
That's the Egyptian god of knowledge. He has an
Yes.
ibis for a head. And on the right there, and like that little creature, that little guy,
Mm-hmm.
that is Amut the Heart Devourer.
Yeah, I recognize the Heart Devourer.
She fucking rules. She is a combination of a hippo, a lion, and a crocodile.
The most powerful
Huh.
beasts in all of Egypt.
Okay, honestly, hippos are fucking terrifying.
They are! They're fucking scary!
So you know the whole thing about like, yeah, she eats hearts. So here's the thing. You know the whole thing in Egyptian religion where it's like after you die, you gotta go get judged, and they put your heart on a scale to see if you've left any regrets back in the real world.
Of course.
Well, if you fail that test, you get eaten. Like, Thoth throws you to Ammit, and you just get devoured by Ammit, and you don't get to die.
Yippee! Eternal life!
Yippee!
Eternal
Yippee.
undeath.
Exactly.
Oh, wait. Please tell me this is where ghosts come from.
Fuck, that's a good question. I don't actually know. I will have to ask my Egyptologists.
Yippee!
That's
Oh,
a really
shit.
good
Okay.
question.
I have a drawing I must construct now.
Okay. So, Jamie,
Yes.
the reason that I'm showing you these guys is that okay. The ancient Egyptians, like, you know, the whole thing about they're depicted as like dudes with animal heads, right?
Yeah.
Here's the thing about that. The ancient Egyptians did not actually think of their gods as looking like that physically, right?
Right.
It was
That
a
part I had known.
representation.
They're just kind of like representations of these like intelligences, these kind of divine intelligences.
So
And-
I guess did they think they looked like anything at all, or were they just sort of this sort of abstraction of the ideas?
Very good. They were just kind of abstractions. Like they were like living abstractions. And the same goes for Ammit. Like they didn't necessarily like, you know, if you died and you go to the Field of Reeds, like you might see something that looks like that, but they don't necessarily think of Ammit as like a beast that lives in a cave somewhere.
Right.
And so here's the thing. Because Ammit is a combination of like all the most badass animals,
Mm-hmm.
and a huge part of ancient Egyptian religion was drawing things. Like depicting something physically was like a deeply important religious act, right? When you are combining the image of a guy and the head of an ibis, you are kind of creating God, this is so hard to explain. Like
It's
I've
more
had-
than a persona. This
It
goes
is-
beyond that.
I mean, it's not a persona though, which is kind of wild.
It's more like a Sonic character.
When your culture has papyrus, and I mean
Right.
papyrus, it's a labor-intensive thing to produce. And the same thing goes for carving. If you carve things into rock, like, you better fucking make sure that shit is exactly what you want to pick. They weren't just
Right.
carving this in for shits and giggles.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, Berlexion in chat says, so it's like an equation adding up to the god. Kind of, yeah. They're
Really?
like, it's formulaic. Like if you are, the idea is that you're trying to kind of create this idea, you're like Amit isn't like a creature. It's just this. It's this badass thing that eats the hearts that Thoth discards or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So to represent that to people, it's like we can't really know what that thing is like, but we can represent it by kind of combining all of the most badass animals into a single Frankenstein creature.
Huh.
Right? Am I making sense here?
Yeah, that
so
makes
it's,
sense.
So it's like the parable of the blind men, where each one sees or feels a part of the elephant, and so each one feels that they know what it is truly, but all of them are incapable of knowing the true thing about it.
Yeah, but it was like there was definitely this idea that like there was no truth about it. Like there was only how it's like there was only how it was represented in the world and in nature. Like the Egyptian gods were like they weren't stable concepts. They were closer to like flows of information and concepts. They were like rivers in that way. It's really fascinating, and I am not doing it justice. And so, part of what you do, like if you were to go and get like an ancient Egyptian spellbook from like the 4th century BC, it was like, you know, you were like, I want to do a spell that casts a super fucked up creature at my boss or whatever. Like I want to like attack my boss with a spirit creature. What the spellbook would tell you to do is like, hey, go get like a bone, like a specific type of bone from an animal, and inscribe it with the image of like, you know, a lion and a bull and a catfish and a hippo. Like combine all of those things together, and then that kind of forms like a vessel for the spirit creature that you are like attempting to contain and then bind and then send at your boss.
Interesting.
Like it's
So you needed to just find the most badass shit. So maybe if the spellbook would like modernly say, hey, go find a picture of Kratos God of War, Sonic the Hedgehog, and you know, Tony Tiger, and combine them together so that a powerful being will see it and recognize its power and inhabit it.
Yeah, that's kind of exactly how it worked.
That's super cool. I love that.
Right?
I think teenagers ruled in ancient Egypt.
Exactly. And so okay, now we get to talk. Actually, before that, Jamie, if you were to create the most badass animal that you could, what would it be?
Oh god, badass? Okay. I'm gonna go with, okay, do I list the animals that I'm taking from, or their parts specifically?
Let's do like 3 animals.
3 animals.
Like, it doesn't like, hippos don't necessarily have like a scary part, but they're just like fuck off terrible like man-eating tanks made of fat.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Right?
Okay. I'm gonna go with scorpion,
Ooh,
owl,
good.
snake.
Ooh, okay.
All right, listing common predators of the mouse. Okay.
Shut up! Shut the fuck up!
This is fucking Jamie's arch enemy. Like, this is the spirit that's waiting for you when you get sent to hell.
This thing judges me and instantly eats my heart.
Yeah. When fucking Thoth judges you and you fail for being a little tart, they're gonna throw you to this thing. Okay. So now we get to talk.
Having a little too much fun, CT.
I'm having a lot of fun. Okay.
I'm glad you're having a lot of fun.
So any questions? I feel like I've been like rambling a lot.
I don't think I have any questions. I really like this segment, this era of history that we've learned about. That's a lot of fun.
Okay, well, I have something for Jamie to look at. something Jamie to beep at.
Oh, something for me to beep at?
Yeah, something for you to just to beep at.
I'm sensing a theme here, Corvus. I'm sensing a bit of a theme here, Corvus.
Whatever could you mean, my dear friend?
I'm kind of getting the feeling that there's a bit of a theme to the artwork you've made tonight so far.
You fail. Go directly to Amit.
Baba, bye-bye.
Gumbaba.
Oh, I thought that was a bong.
A bong.
I don't think I can recognize the bong.
Like and subscribe if you would get smoked out with Thoth.
Gosh, I was sorry for the segue, but I was so torn today because the phrase "I'm sorry, little girl, but your puppy fell in the bong and we smoked it wicked style" got stuck in my head. And I really wanted to say it at work at some point, but I never found a time where it would be appropriate to say it, even to myself.
Yeah, I think you would have gotten in trouble.
If I had said, I'm sorry, but your heart was just too small. We threw it in the alligator bong and smoked it.
Planetary Polecat, my heart is not the Among Us. Tell that to Corvus. Corvus's heart is the Among Us. Eject that.
We've decided that your heart is too cringe and we have smoked it with Thoth. Okay. So jumping ahead a little bit in history, we're jumping ahead about 7 centuries. Like, so we're in like the 4th century now. We're gonna talk about one of the most famous little chunks of magical history. Jamie, I've got like a bunch of images for you.
Oh boy, images.
So we're gonna talk about the Greek magical papyri, the PGM.
Oh, that little guy in the center there. Oh,
Right.
I'm obsessed.
Right.
Oh no,
In
I'm
just
obsessed.
In just a moment, I will explain to you the little guy.
Okay, I need to know. I need to
I
know
love this
about this
Ouroboros.
little guy.
Oh.
Holy shit! This looks like that. Oh my god.
There's so many of these. There's so many. Like I'm just giving.
God.
And I'll save my
Holy
favorite
shit.
one for last.
These are really good. Wait, hold on. I'm recalling something. These are spells, aren't they?
Yeah. So everything that's on screen right now, these are nearly 2,000-year-old spells. Every single one of these is from the Greek magical papyri, which is a book. It's like a book of spells that was kind of, it's like a compilation. Does anybody? So okay. Do you ever have like a 3-ring binder that you keep like random recipes you've printed out before?
Oh yeah. Well, I don't, but my mother does.
Yeah, it's just like random shit you've collected and put into a binder.
That's what that's what it is.
That's basically what the PGM is. Like when the spells were created, they range from like, they're like 200 years before Christ to like when the Byzantine Empire. They're from all over the place.
What, the beginning or the end of the Byzantine Empire?
The end. Like this shit goes from like
end.
Okay, well, okay.
To the 15th century?
No, not the 15th century. To the beginning of the Byzantine Empire. Sorry,
Okay.
we're talking like 200 BC to like 400 AD.
Okay. I was like, are you kidding? They've got recipes in there from Papa Stelios's big book of empire building. Or rather, big book of empire withdrawal.
Hey, like, I mean, theoretically, one of these spells could be from after the Council of Nicaea. Like, one of these could theoretically be Father Stelios's big book of spells. Okay. Phylexion in chat says, "Oh, hey, those glyphs with the little circles on the end sort of look like that one angelic language. Very good eye." I have an additional image for you that I was actually going to talk about after this, but because someone brought it up, we'll do it now.
Oh,
I
okay.
love the amount of rats that I can see in these images. Wait, that guy has a face on his tummy.
We
And
will
that-
talk about this man in just a moment. Okay, so you see this?
Yeah.
This is one. This is a protective charm to be drawn on silver leaf. I forget exactly what it does. Oh no, this is an anti-wizard spell.
This is the anti-wizard spell?
It
That's
is
incredible.
a
It says
anti-wizard
sex.
spell. It's kind of, yeah. So here's the thing. This is one of the earliest examples of a spell that uses characters that look like letters but are not actually letters. Like these do not actually mean anything. Like this does not produce a word. There is no logic to what order these characters are in.
Wait, so, okay, here's a question.
Sorry, Jamie, not sex.
Yeah, no, my point is, like, that is an X with circles on it, right?
Mhm.
But these aren't letters. They don't mean anything, right?
No.
So does that X with circles on it mean the same thing as that X with circles on it? Or are they two completely different symbols that mean completely different things? And, like, right there, it appears twice.
Okay. One, good fucking question. And two, we have no fucking clue.
Really? Oh, that's awesome!
So here's the thing. You got to remember about the PGM. Most people in the fourth century, most people from Jesus' time didn't know how to read.
Right.
They were completely illiterate. If you can scroll a little bit to the left, and we can look at the bird guy in the circle.
Fuck yes.
So, okay, that little dude. Jamie, I want you to guess what that bird guy is.
I'm going to guess that it's an ibis?
No, that's
What?
a demon, my friend.
That's a demon? Wait.
That's a fucking demon.
Shit.
It is a drawing of an ibis, but it is a vessel for a demon.
Oh my
The
god.
one who has swallowed the serpent, hour by hour raising the disk of the sun surrounding the moon, chonoso okcha, and suo bibiro esos, right on your left hand with myrrh ink. These things surrounding the ibis.
Oh fuck. This thing's gonna hit the gritty for the UK.
It is. Well, that's Baal. Baal's from the is Canaanite. This is only Semitic.
Oh, okay. Different demons.
Yeah, literally like shoot yourself with a shotgun.
Okay, I'm gonna go hunt down my elf.
So, okay, what this is from the PGM, this is an instruction for making a demon trap. Specifically, it is, yeah, so what you would do is you're supposed to write this onto the inside of like a clay bowl or a wooden bowl.
Mm-hmm.
The idea being that like if the demon passes over it, like some inherent part of the language, like some inherent power of the language will suck the demon in and trap it in the image at the center. This is a form of magical object from the Levant, like the place that's now like Jerusalem, before Judaism was a thing. This is actually like these go all the way back to like ancient Sumeria, but they were most popular with like Yahwist religion. But you see these all over the Mediterranean because like after the diaspora, a lot of Hebrew-speaking people like brought them to all the different. Yes, this is pre-Judaism, chat. However, during the diaspora, all these Hebrew-speaking people brought it all over, like brought this idea of these demon bowls, like all over the Mediterranean. And so you see them in like Morocco and shit like that, like all the way on the other side of Africa. And so here's the thing. Judaism has like a very specific and special relationship to the Hebrew language. Like it's highly influential on the rest of Western esoterica. But back then, a lot of people didn't know how to read, so there are a lot of demon bowls that are supposed to have like Hebrew text or like demiotic text on them, but it's literally just nonsense characters. Like it's the people who were making them did not know how to write and were just like creating symbols that just kind of looked like text.
Oh my god, that's incredible.
Right? And because here's the other thing about the PGM, it was probably used in a commercial setting. Like this is a handbook of different spells that you could like you know, it's like if you're a traveling like wizard merchant or something, the idea being that like you have this is like your instruction booklet. Like it's like, oh, somebody wants a demon bowl, I got to remember how to make that, and you can look it up in your little handbook.
Huh.
Yeah, so that is partially why a lot of the text in these spells is just complete nonsense, right? And there's a significant amount of like, fuck it, we can just sell bullshit to illiterate people. It doesn't make any difference. Like, it's if the demon's in the bowl, the demon's in the bowl. Who cares if you're literate? Is there a reason the demon is drawn like that? Yes, but it's complicated, and I won't get into it. Let's see. All right, if we could zoom out just a bit. All right. Let's go to the top right there, the one with the two guys with the guy with his dick out.
Yeah.
The top right. Yeah, that's the one. Okay. So this is an early example of what are called word triangles. These are nonsense. They don't actually, like, this does not actually represent anything, but it's like this specific mix of letters. Like, you see how on the left, like on the bottom there, it says like RA, and then on the right it says AR?
Yeah.
Or like they're kind of mirrored in some places. Oh no,
Yeah.
never mind. That's not this one. That's not this one.
Oh, then
like
never mind. I don't see that.
Palindromes were considered very magical, but this is like at this point in history, the act of writing down text was considered like deeply, deeply magical, even if you didn't know how to read or write. Like the idea that you can kind of like encode information in text was kind of itself seen as magical.
Huh.
That tracks pretty well.
Yeah, and this spell specifically is a love spell. I believe this one is an attempt to attract a man named Heracles.
Aww.
Is this where the abracadabra triangle comes from? Yes, it is.
The abracadabra triangle?
Yeah, like the word abracadabra.
Oh.
Yeah, that comes from a spell structure kind of like this.
Huh.
All right. Now, where I need to pull up.
I love how this is a love spell and it looks like someone's trying to murder a guy with his dick out.
It looks like
That's how it was.
I love the PGM. All of the drawings look like this. Like they all look so silly. But it's like, you know, it was the 2nd century. People didn't know how to draw.
Maybe he's like holding a torch.
Okay. I disagree with that. People did know how to draw. This wasn't something that they couldn't do. I like to believe that they purposely drew it this way to
baffle the future.
No. To evoke a certain emotion, to evoke a certain desire or look.
What happens?
Because I mean, like, you know, it's coming out that the Lascaux cave paintings were stylized.
Right,
like,
right.
Cave paintings have and always were, like, they were capable of being realistic.
Right.
They were capable of rendering things perfectly realistically, but they chose to represent it that way.
Right.
Intentionally.
Okay. Yeah, that's
so. And that's something that I've learned studying history that I used to like buy into, and I think a lot of people buy into this idea that people from the past are like less sophisticated or less intelligent than we are now, but it makes more sense this way, that humans have always just been as intelligent as we are now. It hasn't been that long since,
right.
in the grand scheme of things. And so from that perspective, it's like, you know, these people writing, you know, the PGM were just as smart as we are, and probably had many of the same not ideas, but like traits and understandings that we did if we were in their scenario. And if they were in our shoes, then, you know, they would have access to way more knowledge.
Right. Jamie, I have sent you another image.
Oh fuck,
Jamie,
yes, I'm also
sending you an image.
Oh no, I'm so scared of images.
Yes.
Oh, come on, just let me copy. Ah, this is gonna be one of those ones I have to copy from a web page. All right, put it in. Make it larger. All right.
All right. This is one of the most famous sequences in alchemical history. This little 13 symbol sequence, this is called the formula of the crab. And this is actually a chemical formula. These symbols actually do mean something. Oh my god.
What do the symbols represent?
Okay. This is one of my favorite things, like, in magical history. So the first one there, that little like H with a circle, that just means like pay attention, or like the formula begins here.
Okay.
Number 2, that is a symbol meaning the all, or the it's code for an alloy of lead and copper.
Gotcha.
The number 3, that is copper rust, as in like copper sulfate.
Right.
And then 4, that is the symbol for fusion. Like, combine these two, and it is likely that the alchemist knew what that meant. So the 6th one, this is where the formula gets its name. We don't know what this one means. However, it probably means like fix this, or like fuse together, as in like make fixed, as in like
make it stable.
Yeah, make it stable. That, you got it. And then 7, that's emeritus. It probably means like divide into parts, or like divide equally into equal parts, like ingots or something like that. 8 and 9, that means 14 drams. That's just like a measurement of weight. So it's probably the unit that you're supposed to separate it into.
Okay, yeah, so separate it into units of 14 drams.
And then number 10, that's a calcination of copper, or calx. So 11, 12, and 13 mean like all of shell, calx, or lime, and then 13 is of copper. So that is basically a repeat. That's like repeat until finished, if that makes sense. Yeah. And then there's there's a little bit of, I believe that's Coptic text. It says, those that understand will be allowed, or will be blessed. So the reason that this process is written in code is partially because it's fairly advanced, like chemical knowledge, like metallurgy knowledge. And that is not something that you want your enemies knowing, because what if they learn how to make better swords than you?
You don't even want your lord to know that shit.
Interesting.
Because if whoever's paying you to make this shit can give it to someone else, then you are obsolete.
So this was like a real metallurgy recipe, but it was written in like these weird things that were not like the standard language at the time?
Yeah.
Interesting. That's
so,
really
okay,
cool.
You know what we were talking about earlier with Egyptian religion, and like the combination of images being kind of sacred? The same thing goes for metallurgy. What this is, and there's a bunch of people in chat asking about this. What this is for is part of part of the process of making statues of gods for temples. This is part of the process for making like the gold covering on the shell of a divine statue, right? So the combination of metals and like materials that were used to make like statues of the gods, they worked just the same way that like drawing images worked, right? It was like every metal, every color had like a special symbolic meaning that was associated with a particular god or concept. And then like you kind of combined them in the way that was best for that particular god or statue.
What did you say number 5 was again?
Number 5, that was that's like fix this or make stable. So and we will now get So yeah, like that's basically how most of ancient Egyptian religion worked, was like specially combining these different qualities into objects or signs that had qualities associated with a particular god. Like if you want to make a statue of Thoth, you got to get like the Thoth color and the Thoth shape and the Thoth metal and the like you want to combine them all into the Thoth object, you know?
Okay, so they had like specific interesting. They had like specific types of metal that were associated with certain gods and stuff. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
And I imagine not just specific metals, but like literally specific combinations of the metal.
Mm-hmm.
So like
Exactly.
not just gold, but this exact alloy.
Mm-hmm. And like the Egyptians were really into colors. Like the exact color that a statue was like very important. Okay. And all of this everything that we've talked about so far combines to produce one of my favorite images in all of magical history, which I am sending to Jamie now.
Okay. It's a really good image.
It's a great image.
It's a really good image.
You have to get it right because it would make the god angry, or because if it wasn't right, it wouldn't be that god. It was just like you're forming like an imperfect vessel. It's less about like pissing off the god and more about like you just kind of want to do it right. It's like building a shitty temple. So, okay, this is one of my favorite pictures in all of magical history. This is Akephalos, the Headless God. This is, and that Akephalos just means headless in Greek. So the rite that the spell that Akephalos is associated with in the PGM is still used in modern practices today. Like
Really?
I've done the Akephalos rite like several times. So okay, you know we were talking earlier about how the ancient Egyptians didn't really think that the gods was like a guy with a jackal head, right?
Yeah.
But okay, if all of your gods are represented as like a guy with an animal head, what does it mean if you have a guy with no head?
That he doesn't exist?
It means I'm gonna smash my skate. Beans.
So basically, modern practitioners interpret Akephalos as like a sort of general and non-specific deity, right? Right? Akephalos is kind of this like a variable, but for divinity. It's the sort of inherent idea of divinity as represented with this like deeply historically important system of religious depictions. Right?
For all deities, find X. X equals Akephalos.
Yeah, it's like Akephalos is kind of a representation of the all real numbers of divinity.
Interesting.
Yeah. Do you see what I mean with like once you understand kind of the conceptual framework behind creating like a piece of magical art, it can be used to express some like pretty damn profound shit.
Right.
It's a really interesting idea.
And it really builds off of what came before.
All right. So I think let's see.
So whoever wants to be involved, this is you kind of thing. Kind of like an at here, but for the gods.
Yeah. Or it's not even like specific people. It's just like the idea of a non-specific god, like a god that everyone can call on. It's not bound to any particular framework or idea or people or region or language. Like it's like that sort of idea of a non-specific deity.
God, that's fascinating.
Right? All right. So if so here's the thing. We're talking about the history of ancient religion and magical art. We gotta talk about Hebrew for a second.
Okay.
Please.
Jamie, got a new image for you.
Okay. Heading over to the images factory.
Mm-hmm. Okay, somebody earlier said like, hey, that it's like those symbols kind of looked like angelic script. Well, good fucking eye. This is a script. This is a page from the Sefer Raziel. I
Mhm.
believe that's what this is. This is like a 13th century manual of like Hebrew magic.
Mm.
So yeah, the Sefer Raziel. Basically, the kind of load-bearing coconut of a lot of like Western esoterica when it comes to like language and magic and like magical language is Hebrew. Like,
Okay.
you know, because it's for a lot of like Hebrew esoterica, the Hebrew language is the it's like the source code of reality, right? You know,
Mhm.
it's the first word of the Bible, and God said, "Let there be light." The idea being that God literally spoke reality into existence using Hebrew, which is a very beautiful idea. And so, because of that, Hebrew has this very, like, it's this very central, very, like, important thing to Judaism. And it was as, you know, you had the diaspora, and now you've got, like, Jews all over the Mediterranean, and a bunch of them turn into Christians, and that idea kind of filters all the way through the rest of Western esoterica to varying degrees of success. Nobody really does it like Jewish mystics. Couple people come close. It's still like this is still something that like modern esotericists are like figuring out. Um, so if you see all these different letters that have the little like circles on the end,
Mhm.
those are okay. We don't, for some reason, around this time, magical letters like that didn't actually represent anything became really common. That was like a huge thing, and so we don't know why that's a thing. However, the sort of side I'm taking in the debate is it's because of the Ankh, right? Which is like a very important religious symbol in Egyptian religion,
Right.
which it's basically just like a T with a little circle on the top. It's the rune for or the
For girl power.
it's the hieroglyph for a sandal strap. Um, but it's like very important, and it shows up all over the place in Egyptian religion. And so adding little circles on the end became like the way to make a symbol all magic, right?
Okay. Okay. So it's a
Yeah.
stylization to make it interesting. Okay. So that. Oh, that's really interesting.
And so later, like once you got like way into the 16th century, when you've got occultists kind of looking back on all of this, one of I forget who it was that came up with angelic script, but one of them was like basically used that visual style to create the angelic script. Like, and it's why angelic script has those little circles.
Huh.
So okay, we're gonna skip ahead a little bit history wise, because if we're talking about magical art, we can't not mention medieval Islamic manuscripts.
Of course.
These
Who could forget? Who could forget?
So the things that I'm dropping to Jamie right now are not actually explicitly magical, but they are very, very beautiful. Like they're just fucking
Okay.
gorgeous. And they kind of they inform the vibe going forward. Like when later occultists were like studying shit, like the shit that they were reading were basically images, or there was like copies of manuscripts that had been copied and saved in Arabic.
And saved. Yes.
Yeah, by Islamic polymaths and Islamic scholars. So if you were an occultist, if you were a wizard or a priest in like the 13th century or the 14th century, this is what knowledge looked like to you. Like,
So okay.
And it was fucking beautiful.
these are
I love
so
these.
fucking pretty. Yeah.
We don't know why they look like that.
No. We actually know exactly why they look like that. Basically, these are just descriptions of like basic astronomical math.
Mhm.
Like this is basic.
Oh.
The
Yeah,
center one is lunar, or not lunar. It's planets, right?
I believe it's a description of the phases of the moon.
Okay, it is the moon.
And then the one on the left, that is a description of like the vault of the heavens, like the
Mhm.
stars. And then I don't actually know what the one on the right is. And we know that the reason that they look like this is because it's cool when things are pretty. Like
Yeah.
Islamic scholars were just very good at making gorgeous manuscripts. They
That's
were like,
awesome.
Oh, and that's also the thing is that these are diagrams, and for Islamic artists, you can't depict Muhammad. You can't depict religious figures.
Mhm.
So for them, a lot of their designs were geometric. So they got a lot of practice doing this. It was very standard to work in these geometric designs.
It's not just that you can't depict the prophet, right? That's actually
Mhm.
that's actually not a huge thing for them. Like I believe it's something that you're not really allowed to do in more conservative versions of Islam, but it's
Right.
also like it stems from this deeper idea that like only Allah is perfect, right?
Mhm.
It's why when you look at like Islamic mosaic art or Islamic stained glass windows or whatever, um there's like there's always one tile that's intentionally the wrong color or something.
Mm.
Like it's there's kind of a meditative practice of like attempting to approach perfection without ever reaching it. And so they
Right.
got very good at these like extremely intricate, extremely specific patterns that are like intentionally broken in specific religious ways.
Have you been
Yeah.
able to see in person the any Islamic tile works or
Yes,
mosques?
I saw the split mosque in Tbilisi, Georgia, and that was fucking gorgeous. It's one building. It's both a synagogue and a mosque.
Cool.
Huh.
Yeah, it's like actually kind of a regional site of like interfaith solidarity.
Oh.
Because like it was something like during it's like during one of the many pogroms that happened in like that area of the world around Turkey and
Mm.
Russia. Um, this one mosque let like they let the local Jewish population like use the mosque for their services. And
That's
so
super cool.
yeah, and so like over the years they just like built it into like a dual purpose building, and it's like really beautiful on the inside. It's got this like really intricate blue tile pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. All right. Skipping ahead a little bit. So okay, we've talked about text, we've talked about like images, we've talked about like the kind of philosophy that goes into constructing magical images. We're gonna get a little complicated here.
Okay.
So we're gonna combine all the ideas that we've seen so far into some of my favorite like occult art. We will do these one at a time because there's a lot going on.
Jamie, strap in, buckle your seatbelt. Me, I've got my head out the window. Okay. Let's take a look. See, we got the heart symbol again. We've got birds. We've got an eagle. We have man and woman.
I think that's a swan. Or a duck.
You're
We have a
right. That's a swan.
I
she's
was right the
standing on a
first time.
peacock.
Oh, that is.
Yeah, that's a peacock.
Okay, so 4 birds, 3 snakes, and 3 hearts. Okay.
Okay, each of the birds represents a cardinal direction.
Is that true?
You are very close, actually. The position that the bodies are in represent the cardinal directions.
Okay.
Really?
The birds represent different things.
Okay, what do the birds represent?
If I will give you like one more guess, and then
Oh wait, the 4 humors. The 4 humors.
Oh, very good, but no.
Ah!
Oh. Okay. I want to guess.
Okay,
Are they
okay.
something to do with like the soul?
You could argue that kind of. These are not elements. The birds represent the 4 stages of the Philosopher's Stone.
Okay, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so starting at the top, you've got the black crow. That's the first stage, Nigredo. You've got the swan on the left. That's the second stage, Albedo. The peacock on the bottom, that is the third stage. That's xanthosis, and then the I believe the phoenix on the right, that is rubedo. And then the hearts and the snakes on the bottom, those represent alternatively knowledge and the Trinity. This is the 9th key of Basil Valentine, one of the most impenetrable alchemical texts in Western history. So I'm sending Jamie 2 more. I'm gonna show you the second key, and we're gonna talk about the green lion devouring the sun.
Ah, I saw your post on this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's. Oh yeah. Fun fact: if you go to my blog on Tumblr, like my blog header is "I'm in my xanthosis era." It's a reference to this concept.
Oh, that's cool. I did
Yeah.
not know that.
Yeah, it's the peacock.
Huh. Okay, so which one of these two are we focusing on first?
Let's do the Hermes one on the right there. So I actually. Okay, so yes, this one. So okay, what is the name of this fella? Basil Valentine is the guy that made this. This image and the one on the left there, these are from the 12 Keys of Basil Valentine. So on the left there, you've got a guy holding a sword with a snake coiled around it. On the right, you've got a guy with a dove perched on it. You've got Hermes in the middle, or Mercury. He's dual wielding catechuses. He's got
Halo 2 style.
Yeah, and you've got the sun at his left thigh, the moon at his right, and the earth is winged. All of these represent very specific parts of what Basil Valentine would call the creation of the Philosopher's Stone. I don't know exactly what this is describing, but it has something to do with Mercury and the union of opposites and quickening, like coagulation.
Oh, maybe it's like a chemical reaction.
It is. So basically, what you are looking at is like it's a chemical diagram. Like you know, you remember from high school chemistry where it
That's
was like
fascinating. These are visual metaphors.
Yeah, they are complex visual metaphors for chemical reactions.
Huh. That's really cool.
And here we can if you go to that third one there, we can get a little more specific. All right, this is like one of the most famous like concepts from alchemy. That is the green lion, and it's about to eat that sun. So here's the thing. We know where plants come from, right? They come from seeds. Like if you want to make an apple tree, you can make an apple tree. We know where people come from, right? You want to create children, you got to fuck, right? That's the animal kingdom and the vegetable kingdom. A lot in the 14th century, there was a lot of debate about where metals came from. Like they're in the ground, but how'd they get there? That was the main thing that a lot of alchemists were like concerned with. One of the major theories was that there was a kind of pure substance, right? It's like all metal was just a mixture of these two substances in various degrees of purity, with like lead at the bottom and gold at the top. And so the idea is that if you had lead, if you could just figure out how to purify that nasty part out of it, you could turn it into gold.
Huh.
And so you would need an agent, a sort of purifying agent, a vitriol, as it were. And that's what that green lion is. It's probably sulfuric acid, although there's a lot of different theories about what that is.
Okay.
Yeah. And okay, you see up at the top there, you got like that person with two heads, with the sun in their right hand and the moon in their left.
Yeah.
That is a rebus, a body that is both male and female. Because see, this was Basil Valentine believed that like there's a couple theories about like what the purest physical substance was. Some people thought it was gold. Some people thought it was like, some people thought silver was like second place. Some people thought that gold and silver were equally pure. This is a representation of that idea, that like gold and silver are equally pure, and that by purifying the impure things out of metal, you can turn it into this like ultra pure metal that is both gold and silver at the same time.
Huh.
Yeah. Again, this is a chemical metaphor.
Interesting.
Jamie, I've already shown you this one, but we got to show it to chat now.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
Is that what they thought platinum was? I don't think they really knew what platinum was.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they saw it as like distinct from gold or silver. Oh, on the right there, you've got all these guys about to fucking Amogus the king. That depiction of chat at Jamie. This is a depiction of like the eternally pure metal being like crushed and impurified beneath the earth. Like there used to be super pure gold, and just it deep beneath the earth, it was like baked like a big oven and buried under rocks and just like smashed and ground and dispersed, murdered. And using the metaphor of the king being beaten to death by peasants. So okay, this basically brings us more or less up to speed when it comes to like the history of magical art.
Really?
Yeah, there's so much more shit I could talk about, but I don't want to get into like John Dee and like semiotics.
Right.
I feel like that'd be a bit too highbrow even for this stream, and it wouldn't like I don't think it would make the streamer's Rune better,
Interesting. So basically through our collection of knowledge here, you think that we can craft the rune?
What do you think? Like, I've been talking for like 2 hours.
I think
we could craft it.
I think we could craft it. I'm really excited.
All right. I have an idea. Chat, I want you to give us suggestions for the streamer's Rune.
I feel like chat's gonna have like a favorite. Chat's gonna want me to make something like this.
So we're gonna brainstorm, right? We're gonna brainstorm here. A small little beast. I might be feeling beast.
Beast. Yeah, beast.
So,
oh my god.
So all of these images, like we've got a lot of these that are like for something. Like we've got our demon bowl, right? That is for a thing. If you write that on a bowl, it will suck in and trap the demons, right?
Okay. So here's my thought, right?
Okay.
The circle traps something, right? Could we find like a symbolic image of a hater to trap it within? Would we be able to make a little hater trap?
We can absolutely make a bind room for a hater.
I have an idea. Okay, so around here, even at this very stream, you saw it happen, chat. We have a specific chat member named Sergeant Soppy, who pops by very often, a lot even. And his most favorite thing in the world is TF2. So my pitch is Soppy's beloved Scott from TF2 fame in the center of a demon trap. And this will be our ward against haters. They'll get trapped in it.
Okay.
So I guess the question is, this is already a pretty dumbed down version of Scott. So would it be prudent to make a Scott in this style, in the style of these demons?
I think we can definitely work with this.
Okay.
But you see, Scott here's only a head though, right?
Right.
I feel like we can get a little more complicated with this.
Oh,
Like the
okay.
core of this, the core of the core of this anti-hater bind room is going to be the head of Scott. But there are more types of haters than just Soppy.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I think just like how Amit is a Frankenstein of the most badass animals, we need to create
the Frankenhater right now. Okay.
we
Okay.
must create the Frankenhater.
Okay. Fuck, that's really good. All right. So, chat. Scott is this is the face of the beast. What else constitutes a little hater on Twitch? Loud. Someone who is loud. Someone who spams chat. What is a loud creature or animal or TF2 character?
Corvus, how are we doing here? Any are we going in the right direction, you think?
I think so. I think definitely. The bowl, the demon trapping bowl, is a good idea, but I'm looking at the alchemical properties, and I'm asking myself, how can we forge the perfect alchemical gold and silver streamer?
Okay. We've got...
I'm constructing my own. I'm constructing my own little sigil, my own little rune over here.
Okay, Jamie. I think maybe. I think the body of Scott here needs to have like it. We want it to look kind of silly,
Right.
Like it needs to be a little diminutive, a little humiliating to be trapped in this image, right?
Right. Okay.
So I'm thinking, can we just give him like chicken legs sticking out of his neck stump?
Oh, that's that's a really good one.
Or make him like only a ass, like he's just a head and a ass.
We love to have a head and an ass.
So like a kind of like a slug. Okay. I'm liking a little Scott slug. This thing crawls out of the lab.
Oh my god.
I love that Soppy returns right after his big, like, referenced moment happens. That's incredible. Ah, interesting. Okay.
I'm enjoying this so far.
I feel like, okay, so head of a Scott, body of a slug. What else? I feel like it needs at least one more trait.
It needs at least one more. And I'm thinking we've got some negative space there for like a wing or
That's
like a single.
Yeah.
What about like one skinny little beta arm?
Okay. What do the arms look like? Oh, I really like that grabber that guy's. Oh no, he's holding something in his hand. Okay. I'm liking how they structure arms in this. That is the perfect arm. All right, let's move his slug body down slightly. Ugh, it shifts when I move it. Ugh.
And okay. In a lot of the PGM spells, like the sort of ritual figures are usually like holding some sort of important ceremonial object. So
right.
So we've got the skinny little beta arm, but like what's like a representative like ritual implement that we can have here? Okay, Chad is saying the bat. I feel like that's too easy. I feel like we can come up with something better.
Yeah, if it's the bat, that's invoking too much TF2, I think.
Yeah.
And then it becomes an anti-TF2 rune.
Right. We don't necessarily want that. So we
want an anti-hater rune.
Chat's saying keyboard, but I feel like that in itself is too literal as well. Pitchfork is pretty good. Pitchfork.
We're getting closer. We're not quite there yet.
Let's try and look at it from a more symbolic, because like the pitchfork is pretty literal. It's like literally going after you. So like, what is it that we're really afraid of from chat? It's not criticism. You thrive on criticism.
Right.
It's it's the disposition. It's the
Oh.
desire to see you like wither away. I think you should be holding a crow, or holding a crow aloft.
A crow.
We're
Hmm.
almost there. We
I
can
was
find-
thinking you said the word wither, and I thought you were thinking of something like it would be holding like a branch of like nightshade or something.
Well, because in Basil Valentine's little ditty right there, his little doodle,
Mhm.
the black crow represented Negrito, which is the putrefaction, the decomposition. And I think that we're trying to trap the haters because it's part of the alchemical process of you becoming the ultimate streamer.
Hmm.
I see. So we're creating like a temporary vessel for the hater to be trapped and then decomposed for their power.
Okay. Okay.
Consider. What about a seagull? They're like the most annoying bird.
That is
Yeah,
true.
that's really good. Okay. Okay. A chalice filled with blood. No, now I think that's like that is definitely a hater action to want to kill me and have my blood everywhere. I feel like that's a different type of hater than the one
That's
we're
just
trying to.
Catholicism.
That's
It's like this. The Catholics do that like every weekend. You go and you get to drink from the blood chalice. It's cool.
we are not recreating Catholicism on Twitch. Not today,
Yeah.
okay?
We can the bind rune against Catholics can be a different one.
All right.
Like
That's
how he's wielding it like a gun.
Listen, some people wanted a gun, okay?
And this is the ritual seagull gun.
This is a ritual seagull gun. Okay, you know what? I think it needs to be slightly more round on the bottom here as to just for be graphically sound for what we're
Yeah.
about to put it in.
The blender.
There, the blender. Incredible. Incredible.
Ooh. Excellent.
Now, this looks like a Gmod weapon. Yeah, this entire image looks like a new Gmod weapon. Check out my Gmod map out in 2 days that will include this.
And only this. You're trapped with it.
Okay, now a good question is, in
Mhm.
order for it to be a rune to trap a demon, to trap a hater, it's going to need a beautiful swirl of text around it, correct?
Or there are other ways. There are other ways that you can potentially structure that. You don't necessarily have to have it be a spiral of text.
Okay.
You can have it be like actually, now that you bring that up, I'm gonna draw like here. There's other like the other like classical forms of binder. Oh, why is that image so small? What the fuck?
Are you smalling
my-
images over there?
No, the images was smalling themselves.
Not
Like,
appropriate.
I've got
Make
I've
it a
got another
spiral copy
image for you
pasta.
real quick.
Hand
so-
me that image, queen.
This is an image
Oh.
from the Ars Goetia. If you know anything about the occult, you've seen these before. These are symbols for binding demons.
Interesting.
So if you'll see, the symbol in the center is basically like a very abstract representation of that demon or its name.
Okay, okay.
Actually, second from the bottom, on the right hand side, you might recognize that one. That's the May Your Womb Be Barren demon.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, that one right there.
Oh, these are
Um,
fucking awesome. Are we allowed to create our own one of these?
Yeah, you can. And you see the demon's name is written at the cardinal points.
Oh
on the
shit, it
circle.
is SMARBA? Smarba?
Smarba.
Marbus.
Yeah, Marbus.
Marbus.
You-
Oh, it
yeah.
starts at the top. I don't know why I was reading it like that. Okay.
I like. I mean, demon names in the Goetia are stupid. As Smarba could easily be one.
Valfor
Balfour.
That one's Ammon. Okay,
Ammon,
I get these. Sparb. What? Sbarbato.
Barbados.
Sparbato.
It's Barbatos.
Oh.
Barbatos.
Why do I keep reading it at the top left? I'm reading these wrong.
It's funny.
Samigina. Awesome. Okay. I want to make one. Yes, Atomy. Yes, Atomy. I want to make one that says hater.
Hater.
Oh my god.
Okay, we can do an extra little level of magic here.
Okay.
So we've got hater, right?
Right.
We can swap out every letter of the hater for our own special magic letters.
Really? What are our own
Yeah.
special magic letters?
Here's the
that's
fun thing,
that's
Jamie.
thing.
You get to make them up.
Like,
You get to come up with your own magic letters.
like completely just scribbling something and saying that it makes a noise?
As long as you know what the symbols mean, like that's like magically valid, right? Usually you want
Interesting.
the idea is that usually a lot of the time you want a like a lot of magical alphabets have actually while I'm talking about this I'll pull up an image for you. A lot of magical alphabets have kind of like a mythology behind them. Like
Right.
you've got the big one, the kind of the load-bearing coconut of like post-Renaissance occultism is Enochian, which is the language and the alphabet that John Dee claimed was given to him by an angel.
Okay, wait, is that the one with the little circles on them?
It kind of looks like that.
Okay.
Here. I've got a nice big image. Well, and the problem with a lot of magical alphabets is that they usually it's like each letter just represents a Hebrew letter, which like
Right.
whoops, you've just recreated Hebrew. That's not what you're supposed to do. That is something that like modern occultism is like still trying to. It's like, hey, maybe we shouldn't be basing all of this shit off of like a real language that people speak. And it's like religiously important.
Yeah,
like,
seriously.
So I sent you. Here's a nice little chart of various magical alphabets that have existed over the years.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, these ones with the knives are really cool. Which one is that?
Yeah.
Daggers?
That's-
Just called
literally just-
daggers?
Yeah, it's literally
That's
just called the Daggers
awesome.
alphabet. It's for being stamped into stuff.
Yeah,
Huh.
like uniform.
Yeah, exactly. So
These
if you
are
like, you
interesting.
can make up your own. You can make up your own little magical alphabet here.
Okay, so I would just make an equivalent H-A-T-E-R.
Tengwar there?
Is what?
Is Tengwar there? Hang
Yeah,
on. Hang on.
Tengwar right there.
Why is Tengwar there?
What's Tengwar?
Tengwar is the constructed alphabet that J.R.R. Tolkien created for
What?
The Lord of the Rings.
Oh, that's cool. Let's see. Hey, CT, are we allowed to use alchemical symbols seen in dictionaries? Yeah, you can use them as long as it's like not Hebrew, you're fine.
H.
I learned how to write in Tengwar in high school because I had nothing better to do.
Ooh.
God.
Human person salad in chat says you should make your alphabet out of cubies.
Oh my
Out of
god, yes.
QPs? That's right.
You
I
need-
was
you need to
thinking.
make a QPs.
Okay, I do want to make. Okay, making an entire QP alphabet would be really entertaining, and I think that's a good idea for another stream. Right now, I need to make 5 letters for digital streamer magic specifically, where we are blazing a I believe unseen path through a specific magical niche, right?
Yeah,
So
we're
I'm thinking geometric A should be the first one we design. I think we need
okay.
our magical A, and I think it's got to be. God damn it! Everyone's right. Cubes. God damn it! They've got to be cube based. Cube based. Hold on, I have to go drag a cube from a different file. Actually, no, wait. That's disingenuous. Or is it completely genuous because it's the internet?
You're really taking me for a roller coaster ride here.
I'm trying to think, right? Is it not more based in the digital world, the digital architecture, to start by taking from something else, especially
Yeah.
something unrelated?
Yeah, there you go.
I'm dragging this and I'm dismantling it now. You don't remember what cubes look like, so you need another fucking Gesabi. I swear to
cubes are.
I swear to God, we need to finish this rune so I can kick your ass.
He kinda got you there.
No, I mean, these are already finished runes, and I had a justification for
When we're
why we
finished
should go
with this
retrieve
rune,
them.
your ass is done, buddy.
I think you got a little owned by Soppy. It's okay to admit that. Sometimes.
Well, I refuse to admit that. All right, let's see. Let's.
After I've finished my wizard runes, you won't be laughing.
That's what my partner said. That's like exactly what I pitched the stream to my partner Dakota, and they were like, "Oh, you're going to use a fireball on me." And I'm like, "Shut the fuck up! I'm gonna defend my stream with magic."
I'm hanging out with a wizard. Don't make fun of me for it. They're a real wizard that has a blog.
Haven't you ever heard of wizards? All right. Okay. Okay. We're
Liking
looking
where this is going.
for the letter A. That's what we're hunting for. All of my crying, sobbing scared off Spotify. Oh no, it didn't. It's just a quiet song. Okay, A. This is the most important letter of the alphabet.
You make it look pissed off.
Oh, kind of an angry A.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, let's copy paste it so I have another cube so I don't have to go hunting for it when I'm done mutilating this one.
Gotta
Make
make
it a
sure we
little
don't run out of
angry.
cubes.
can't run out of cubes, okay? Okay, what if we did that
Ooh.
and then made that a bit smaller, went up,
Mm.
and then dragged you slightly down as well.
Stream is making my fucking chest hurt. Is it the laughing or the curses? It's both. Welcome to the wizard stream, idiot.
We promise all curses are 100% fatal.
Guaranteed.
So don't stick around for the curses portion of the stream if you value your life.
All right, everyone. Time for the curses portion. Turns your dick into a snake.
Alright, now this little hater is fighting with me. So what I need to do is... What
Jamie,
the hell?
Did you ever see the post I made about snake blasting?
Fuck, I have not. What is snake blasting?
So I was reading like this anthology the other day of like the history of magic, talking about like the Greco-Roman world, and there was a whole like subheader. It was like section 3.23 snake blasting, and I was like, what the fuck is snake blasting? And it was like, as we'll cover in section 2.23 on snake blasting. I was like, hang on.
Hold on a second.
I flip ahead, and it's like, yeah, yeah. People in chat are bringing it up. It's like there was this section of the Chaldean oracles where they tell this story about this guy who was like, I'm having so much fucking trouble with my crops. Somebody go get the wizard. And the wizard was like, he was like, I shall commune with all of the. It's like, I shall commune with all of the animals, and he like, you know, speaks to all the animals, and he's like, snake, go and get all of the other snakes in this man's field. And he was like, okay, and he gathered all the snake gathered all the other snakes up, and then the old man was like, but there is an elderly snake that is like still in his home. I need you to go get that guy. And the snakes were like, yes, old wise man. And he came back and he got the old snake, and then the old wise man shot fire out of his mouth and blew up the snakes. I read this in the middle of like a packed cafe at like 10 in the morning on a Monday, and I was like pissing myself laughing. Like the way that this reads, like it literally reads like a joke. It was so fucking funny. Like actual ancient magical text is like, and then he got the old man snake, and all of the reptiles and critters were together, and then the old man blew fire from his mouth and killed them. I was expecting him
as
to
if
like.
they couldn't be comedic back then. As if they couldn't tell a little funny
I was
joke.
like, I don't think it was supposed to be a joke. Like it was like translated from like Koine. You know,
Mhm.
I think I'm pretty sure that the original text, it wasn't supposed to read like that. I think the verbiage was completely different, but the English translation was so fucking funny. Like it read like a modern comedy thing. I was like, you could do this as like stand up. It was so good.
God, that's really
And-
good. Holy shit.
It's so rare that you read like a thing in like a very serious academic text. You see the term snake blasting, and then the definition of snake blasting is like as funny as you were hoping it to be.
Snake blasting. To blast a snake.
Yeah, literally. It's like I finished with this thing and I was like, God damn, that guy blasted the fuck out of that snake. that old man really did blast those fucking snakes.
God.
Involuntary Pro in chat says, hey, random person also at this cafe, what are you laughing at? Surely this will be a normal answer.
Okay. Here are my two pitches for the magical
Ooh.
letter A. Now, I for some reason have reasoning behind them, right?
Mhm.
We're trying to go with magic through the Wi-Fi lines of Twitch, right? So
Yeah.
my thought is like, if that's internet magic, that's directly interfacing with the algorithm, which is the unseen sphere, right? So this one represents the unseen sphere
Ooh.
of the algorithm,
Mm-hmm.
and this one is more cube based and looks like a castle.
I'm like
So what do you
I'm
think?
liking the algorithm one. Like that you're really thinking like a wizard.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm excited to think like a wizard. I think I like that one more anyway. I think this one also works better when scaled.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. That's so cute. Look at that tiny baby algorithm in there.
I like this a lot.
Chat chanting about the unseen sphere.
Unseen sphere. Unseen sphere.
Hey Jamie,
Yeah.
what's your favorite Halo Wars 2 map?
What's my favorite Halo Wars 2 map? Fuck.
Really specific question.
Fort Jordan.
Thank you.
Never got to play on that one. They never actually added it to the game.
I'm crafting something to hurt Jamie.
Interesting.
Ooh.
Interesting.
An evil and malicious spell for Jamie.
And here's also what Corvus drew for me. This is awesome.
Oh, we've played on Fort Jordan.
Yeah, you and I have played on it, but they never
Ooh.
added it to matchmaking.
Oh, okay. I
Corvus,
remember Fort
explain
Jordan.
this. Explain what you drew.
Explain your magic art.
Gosh, I feel like I'm kind of a poser for doing this. I don't know. I've been very inspired by by the information you brought. So I reached back into my psyche and thought about my homebrew D&D world, which is the culture is obsessed with the sacred geometry. They love circles. They believe that the circle is a representation of the divine, and so of course they're looking for circles in everything.
Fuck yeah.
And so here you have, a practical method to summon good fortune into the house by denouncing the transient circle and elevating the permanent circle.
Oh, I dig it. I dig it.
That's fun.
You're thinking like a wizard.
And I've got a very powerful very powerful rune that I'm about to send to Jamie very quickly.
I
and
can't
we'll
wait
see
to
what
see
he
this
excited.
rune. Now I've got to design an E. Oh, fuck. I blew up the cube that I said I wouldn't blow up. Now I have to go get a new cube.
Fail.
Cube destroyer.
Cringe.
Cringe! You have destroyed the cube you were meant to protect. Alright.
We are
E.
deleting you now.
Oh no. It seems that in your error you have committed the most egregious sin of becoming cringe.
Left looks like a rising sun, which makes it fitting as the first letter of the alphabet. Fuck, you're right.
There you
Damn it.
go.
That's really good, Came Artificia.
We're establishing a whole language of magical motifs.
I like how E is also facing in a certain direction. I think that's something... E is a letter that faces in a certain direction, so I have to think more about... Okay. So, our idea is the unseen sphere being the algorithm, the general internet mythos being that we are all at the whims of a terrible, terrible digital beast. And E is an
I've got possibly a point of inspiration for you.
Okay.
The modern English letter E is derived from an ancient Phoenician symbol that represents a man at prayer.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a heavily abstracted symbol for a man kneeling in prayer.
Interesting.
The capital A is in turn a representation of an inverted bull's head.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Okay. I think I know where I'm going with this one. I might know where I'm going with this one, maybe.
Maybe.
Put that there. What else am I gonna need? Put this here. Oh, it'll make so much sense. It'll make so much sense when the work is done. But until then, I must look insane in front of everyone on the internet.
He's looking in a little box.
I have to do this.
I have to do this. I see it already. Thank you, Epic. Or Epoch. Completely unsure. Oh, fuck, yeah. Feed Scout, you totally did. CT is not gonna know what Dinkert is, though. Post your fucking, Dinkert again, or DM it to me on Tumblr. Fuck. I am dismantling this guy's neck.
What are we talking about?
Dismantle mines, yes.
Dismantle
Think-
mines, yes.
Shall I explain Dinkert while you focus?
It was a prop that my friend Kelly became in the game Soma. You know the game Soma. You've played it, correct?
Ah, yes.
Dinkert was the door prop, the door lock from Soma. Kelly became absolutely obsessed with dragging one of these wretched little things to the end of the game. And during a 8-hour live stream, or no, it was a few smaller 6-hour live streams, Kelly managed to drag Dinkert as far through the game as they could. And at some point during those live streams, Feed Scout in the chat made a holy symbol for Dinkert because Kelly was getting really normal about their video game prop that they were holding.
Ooh. Very fun.
I do remember a while ago paying Kelly to drop Dinkert down a gorge.
I do remember that as well. That was really fun. I liked it when you did that.
I know you liked it when I did that because you yowled and howled in pleasure and you went, oh yes, Dinkert is dying, yes.
Listen, I think it's good when this happens, okay?
I love it when this happens. I think it's good.
I think it's good when this happens.
He's shooting it with a gun.
No, he's not shooting it with a gun.
Me when I see a fucking hater.
Me when I see images.
Be gone! I cast fucking Glock upon thee, thought.
Fucking blogger. Little fucking blogging.
Oh, little blogging beast, it seems.
Blogging beast. Alright, now I have to remember how I make these into the correct, Okay, so I think think I move it so that the one angle is that way. And then I enlarge it, and then I think I squish it? No, wrong squish. Do I stretch? Fuck. How do I make you into the right perspective here? Uh-oh. I might have created something that cannot be moved.
Planetary Cat, we are generating the streamer's rune. We are generating the most powerful streaming rune that we can have. It will have all of the magical effects that a streamer may need.
Indeed, perhaps even more.
Perhaps even more. It will have emergent streaming properties whose magical power is yet unknown.
Wait, do I remember how to do this? I swear to God there was a method to how I made things fucking isometric style even when they weren't. God, look at this. Look at all this shit that I have to do just to make it. Though, this was totally it. Yes, that was totally it. Okay. Now I am going to crush you until you are with your cousins.
We should design a god of streaming. Perhaps another time.
Perhaps another time.
Hmm.
God, this is a very complicated rune, I'm realizing.
Hey, we've got some. I was showing you some complicated as heck things.
Yeah, I'm wondering now if Jamie will recognize this, or if I'm doing this all for sillies and goofs.
If you're making like an incredibly elaborate Among Us, like taking all this time to do that, I will be impressed.
Well,
No, when you say it like that.
I wouldn't say it like that.
There you go, trapping you in the E for eternity.
Yes. Good.
And it's good when this happens.
I love this.
It makes me happy to see you trapped in the E.
Seals you in the coolest letter.
Everyone knows that E is the coolest letter of the alphabet.
CT,
And
what do you
I have
think the
power over it.
sexiest? What do you think the sexiest letter is?
Oh. Hang on. Let me check my notes. I was looking at
My notes on the
notes.
sexiest letter of
You
the
don't-
alphabet.
No, I literally have notes. I have my wizard notebook in front of me as we're doing this stream, and I literally have notes on like the Phoenician representations of what the letters actually are.
Oh,
And I
no,
know that
that's awesome.
I think one of them actually is just a vagina.
Nice, we love this. Women moment.
Women moment. Gay rights, you know.
He writes.
Hmm?
Oh shit. Okay, hold on. I totally forgot about those bitches.
Alright, let's see. Now I have to go destroy lines.
I totally forgot about women. Sorry, women.
What the hell, Corvus? You've forgotten about woman.
Sorry,
You
women.
Name every woman.
If I really tried, I could. I don't think I have the strength to do so.
I think that's it. I think that's my E.
There you go. That's a good ass E right there.
I think the representation is obvious. He's at his laptop. The lines intersect the figure's head as he is thinking.
Oh,
Across
there you
with his
go.
eye line is a little box out which he can see outside of the E, but he chooses not to due to the allegory
Oh.
of the cave.
See, the problem is he's on that iPhone.
Exactly.
problem is
Thank
he's on
you.
that iPhone.
Okay,
Thank
I
you.
have your answer. It's P. It's the mouth
Hell yes.
/ the tongue. That's the sexiest letter.
I'm glad the Phoenicians figured it out for us.
Yeah, they were like, you know what should be the sexiest letter? P.
I feel
Okay,
like
Jamie,
the-
I'm sending you a demon sigil just for you.
Oh fuck yes! This is.
Ooh.
Oh fuck yes! Oh fuck yes, Corvus! Look at all this sigil work. Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
The vile and terrible creatures of the internet, pay them homage. They are commanded poorly, and their commander will be aggroed. Surely. Oh, this is very good. Oh
I
my
like
god.
that.
Okay. So this is a map of Fort Jordan from Halo Wars 2. I see it. I
Very
see
clever.
it. That's very interesting. What Corvus has done here is he's made a rune to ward off me losing at Halo Wars 2, which
There
I
you
always
go.
do. I always get my ass kicked at Halo Wars 2, and I play it regardless. Am I right, Corvus?
Yes, yes. That's exactly what it
Yay.
is. It is not a sigil at all meant to aggro you into attacking me quickly in strategy games so that my well-built defenses can shore you off and I can win the economy war in the long run.
Well-
no, it's exact. This is a rune to help you win at Halo Wars 2. That's
So-
what it is.
So what you've done is made a rune to make me mad, and I chose to interpret it favorably.
No. Yes,
Listen,
you
listen.
do look at it favorably. We
If
love
you
it when
put
you
your
do that.
fingers, if you put your fingers into my enclosure, it will be fine and normal.
We will have a normal event if you get near me. I will not hurt you. I will not hurt you a lot.
So cool. It'll be very good and cool.
Jimmy,
What?
you want to play strategy games with me.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
love to play real-time and turn-based strategy with me. You want to play more Halo Wars 2.
I do
So
wanna play more
bad.
Halo Wars 2. That much
You
is
want
true.
You want to play Warhammer 40K.
Hmm.
You want to play
Oh?
Dawn of War. You want to get rushed really quickly.
You want to trick me into trying StarCraft.
Oh god.
You want to play StarCraft just a little.
I don't. Not even a little.
Do people still play StarCraft? Is that still like a huge esport?
I would say it is unfortunately it is the dominant real-time strategy esport
Yay.
after all this time.
That's wild.
You think someone would come along. Lol, I saw that. I saw that.
I did
Mouse
it twice.
error.
You didn't
Mouse error.
miss anything.
Mouse
I did it
error.
multiple
Mouse
times.
error.
You've missed it more times than you've caught it.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I have no idea what we're talking about.
Okay, now I gotta read about this Basil Valentine dude.
He's a bit of an enigma, even among like 16th century alchemists.
Mhm.
Like even today, we don't really know what the keys are explicitly supposed to represent. Like usually with a lot of alchemical symbology, you can kind of like at this point, like I kind of specialize in alchemical emblems and shit like that, and I can sight read a lot of alchemical code. I have no idea what a lot of the keys are supposed to mean.
Interesting. Are there certain alchemists who you like literally could read just like almost all of their work?
Ooh, that's a good. Like, do you mean me specifically, or like people in general?
I guess like both those. Yeah. Like, are there some that you can read, like verbatim, and are there ones that just anyone could read?
There's a lot of alchemists that I can specifically read, but I have so much background knowledge in this. Like it's part of what like initially got me into the occult was my interest in alchemy and alchemical symbology. But alchemy is not like entry level shit. It can be very difficult to parse out.
Yeah.
Like even the one of the things that makes alchemy really hard to understand for like new people is that there's so much like misinformation as to what all this shit means. Like there's a lot of
I imagine not only just like from a modern perspective, but also sometimes even from a historical perspective. Because
well, it's
because
like
I imagine that each alchemist had their own little quirk when it came to writing and recording, or even making new ideas.
Oh yeah, like absolutely. There was a lot of like personalization, but a huge element of that was like, okay, uh there's a lot of people today who say shit like oh, well, alchemy was never actually about the chemicals. Like, it's actually all just like coded metaphor for like religious transcendence or whatever. And they're not really talking about like
People say
putting
that.
gold. Yeah, no,
I've heard the opposite. I've heard the opposite, that it was literally that people were like, oh, it had nothing to do with the religion, and it was entirely about the alchemical code of it.
no, okay, it's fucking Freud's fault. Like
Of fucking course.
Freud and Jung were like obsessed with alchemical ideas. Like a lot of Freud's early theories are literally just like, it's like, this is just alchemy. Like, you're just reprinting alchemy and saying that it's how the brain works, and it's wrong. Like, because the brain is not an alchemical thing.
Right.
But see, here's the thing. A lot of like, okay, there were map makers in the medieval era who used like elaborate biblical metaphors like in their maps, but no one today thinks that like there was an ancient secret society of like wizard map makers who were like secretly encoding mystical truths in their cartography. Like, no one thinks that. That's just like, just because alchemists used like really interesting like biblical metaphors in their work doesn't mean that they were talking about religion.
No, and in fact, I think it's more of the perspective that that a lot of people who don't study the medieval era don't pick up as much, which is just that shit was ingrained in your culture.
Yeah.
Like, that was how you explained things to people.
Yeah.
There was no Marvel, there was no like shit like that. Like, if you were going to tell an allegory to someone, one of the easiest allegories you could tell was a religious one.
Exactly.
And so if you lived in medieval Europe, you used a biblical allegory because that's what people understood.
Yeah. The other thing is that like, so alchemists did write in code a lot, but it's not because they were like, secret Kabbalist mystics. It's because they were entrepreneurs.
Right. Right. This
like,
is their work, and if someone stole their work, if someone could easily acquire their work, then like all of their work would have been for naught. They can't squeeze as much money as they need out of it.
Exactly. You lose your job. You lose your job security, and nobody wants that. And it's also why they would talk in weird code, is because like they couldn't just protect their trade secrets. They also needed a way to advertise to other alchemists that like, hey, I'm also an alchemist and I know what I'm talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so you needed to develop some sort of coded language that would allow you to talk to other alchemists in a way, like exchange information with other alchemists in a way that didn't betray your trade secrets, right? Hence all of the hyper complex coded visual metaphors around like peacocks and crows and birds and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. That is really interesting. I had something I wanted to ask, but I completely got swept up in this whole discussion.
The other thing is that like this idea of like the alchemist as mystic, my favorite reason why it's wrong is that like actually like even people during like the Enlightenment and like the Renaissance, they fucking hated alchemists. Like because a lot of them were just like liars and charlatans.
Yeah.
And like I forget which king it was, but there was like some Renaissance king that had a special gold-plated noose specifically for hanging alchemists.
Oh my god.
You fucking with me? That's hilarious.
No, it rules. It's become like a symbol of alchemy at this point, is the golden noose. Because like, how fucking metal is that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Like, because you would have a guy who'd show up in your town, and he could be like, yeah, I can turn lead into gold. But so here's the like, part of it was how do you explain this? It's like there were chemical tricks that you could do that would make it seem like you were turning lead into gold. Yeah, they could.
And of course, there's always sleight of hand, which people have been very good at for a very long time.
And so over time, the practices around like this was back in the era when you had like court magicians and you had like a court alchemist, because the way that most alchemists actually made money is they got a wealthy patron, right? You signed up to work for some duke or whatever. And because it was really useful to have a guy who knew how chemicals worked around.
Yeah, it was incredibly. It was good to have someone who not only was proficient with chemicals, but also could, I mean, like on a basic level, create Greek fire, like any kind of destructive element or anything that could fix things.
You know what the major thing that alchemists actually contributed to, they revolutionized chemical science and like eventually became chemistry and everything.
Yeah.
The largest effect that they actually had on European society was they revolutionized fireplace technology. Like
interesting.
Heating. Because alchemists are people that spend all of their time in very poorly ventilated rooms trying to get things super, super fucking hot for like weeks at a time. So they eventually got really, really good at building kilns, and they developed a really strong understanding of how heat diffused through different substances. And so they got really, really good at designing better ways to design fires, better ways to like keep houses
and insulation.
Warm. Well, because people forget, like modern people do not understand how shitty it was even to be rich in like the 1600s. Like the Palace of Versailles, right? The one of the fanciest, wealthiest places on earth, a nexus of like global like influence and power. For most of its history, people didn't like to have dinner in the winter at the Palace of Versailles because it was so cold that the wine would freeze over at the table.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And it wasn't...
That has got to be a design flaw. That has to be some kind of fucked up flaw.
I mean, it's like a McMansion, right?
It's the giant high ceilings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're super drafty and they don't hold heat very well. Everything is wide and open, and it has these like air is actually a really bad conductor of heat. So if it gets cold, it stays cold really, really effectively. So that is until like a lot of alchemists showed up and started like one of the major things that they would contribute, that they learned to contribute eventually, was like, hey, thanks for the alchemy lab, bucko. I figured out a way to make it so that you can have dinner without getting frostbite. Which was very popular among like European nobility in the 1600s.
Yeah, I would
also like to have a pork roast without the fat turning solid in my mouth. They also invented numerous like paints and dyes. There were a lot of like advances in medicine that came on the back of alchemists that were largely just like, hey, maybe it's a good idea to maybe it's a good idea to like test things and make sure that they're not poison. How the fuck do you get shit cold enough to freeze wine? It gets cold in the south of France. Like I remember I got like some smartass anon on Tumblr a while ago that was like, what did alchemists actually contribute like to human history? It was like, they invented chemistry, dickhead.
What do you think?
It's in the name.
Yeah. And like, what did anyone fucking contribute in fucking society? Are you insane? Are you stupid? It happened. Nothing happens that didn't like have a progressive system to establish it as existing.
Well, and it's what pisses me off so much is that like it's like we have science now, and it's like, yeah, dickhead. It's like Isaac Newton was a practicing alchemist. And, like, a really important one. He's like one of my biggest inspirations as an occultist. He was an insane wizard. Like, and I am not using that term lightly. Like, Isaac Newton was obsessed with magic and alchemy. Like, obsessed with it. But the hoity-toity assholes at Cambridge won't, like, they don't like telling people that he was, like, super obsessed with alchemy.
That's
I can't imagine
wild.
why.
Yeah, it's like probably my favorite magical symbol of all time is Isaac Newton's theoretical structure of the Philosopher's Stone. I have a reprint of it on my wall, like right in front of me.
Okay. So, I have
Oh.
taken revisions to some of the ones that I already made and completed Hater. The H is representative. I decided that the symbology that we're creating here needs more than just the hidden sphere, the unseen sphere. It also needs the opposite of the sphere, right? What is the opposite of the algorithm? The user, the people, the points of data are represented by this. This is both the users of the internet and the points of data, because there would be no data if it were not for the people. So, this H represents the disconnect between the user and the internet. Unseen sphere, we've already spoken about. This is the revised T. I think this one is representative of, again, the unseen sphere, but this one is covered by a triangle because we created the unseen sphere. We are not technically its masters, but we are its creators. This one it means the same as the previous one. It is a point of data within a rectangular prism that represents it using the internet. And then this last one is R, because personally I don't really think R is that important of a letter in the alphabet, and it is reflected by the fact that it is the least important one here.
Could you go back to the A?
To the A? Go back to the A? Sure. Are you screenshotting?
No, I'm reducing your fancy little symbols into a basic common script.
Ooh.
Ooh. Fancy.
So, if it will let me... No, not Control Z.
Yes.
There we go. Okay, yeah, the unseen sphere. Okay.
That triangle is a little bitch. Feed. The triangle is us. We are the little bitch.
We are the triangle.
Anyway, now I need to figure out how to properly turn this thing into aesthetically pleasing lines. So we've got three elements. We've got Scott. We've got...
I forgot about this guy. I saw him again and I nearly pissed myself. I was so proud of you for it was wow, you're really thinking like a wizard. This is really fun. This is way more successful than I expected. And then I fucking slug man. Oh my god.
Soppy says, what is this going to be used for? And then Banshee Strikes says, no one tell Soppy. I am going to tell Soppy, because the stream has been so long that I think I need a recap as we get into the, I guess, the finale here. I have had a lot of fun tonight.
Well, hold on. Before you recap, I just want to say,
yeah.
I do have to skitter on off because it is my bedtime.
Oh, it is your bedtime. Corvus, thank you so much for being here. This has been a ton of fun.
Thank you both for doing this. Thank you, CT, for giving us a wonderful history lesson, and Jamie, thanks for hosting. I just wanted to say, chat, also thank you for coming out and hanging out with us and sharing in on this knowledge that we've gained. This is a very edutaining night. And I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful night. I hope I get to see the rune tomorrow that wards off what is most vile, the haters.
The haters.
But again, thank you, and good night, everybody.
Thank
Bye,
you, and
Corvus.
good night.
But yeah, I think Corvus sums it up well. This is a rune that will ward off haters. The most important rune a streamer can have. So what we've done is we've sort of created a creature to represent the haters, to ward off in the style of what were these called again, CT?
It's a demon bull. It's like a Sumerian demon bull.
Okay, yes, the Sumerian demon bull, right. We created our demon that we're warding off. The haters, right? Soppy says, I don't think it's that important of a rune, actually.
Tee.
Tee. So the idea is now that we have what we're warding off, we have to translate this image into an abstract form.
Mm.
A lot of these have different different elements that make up their representation, right? I see
Yeah.
that's probably representative of a weapon or a pitchfork, maybe, right?
Yeah, yeah. Not
This,
necessarily, like, you don't necessarily need to make an abstracted form. Like, you can, like, if you wanted to just drop your drawing into the middle of that circle and call it a day, that's entirely magically valid, my friend.
that is magically valid, but my drawing looks like dog shit. So, I want to abstract him a little bit.
It is funny.
I wouldn't mind giving him a spiral of text around him though at some point, just to complete the mental image, you know.
Jamie, you must understand. Funny. But funny.
But funny, you see. Okay, fine. We'll get the visual at least. I'll show you
Yeah,
what it
yeah.
would look like.
You can do whatever you want. I'm only the backseat driver here.
You're only the backseat streamer. You're telling me to pull a hard left here.
Drive off the bridge.
God, he's smaller and he's scarier somehow. Ugh,
The
get out of here.
contrast between the the really angular like characters around the side and then the like crayon evil crayon drawing is really good.
Like some shit you'd see in the original Slender looking ass. All right. Okay, so haters. The little triangles. Okay, yes. Going by our general idea that people in this streamer script here are represented by triangular points of data, right?
Mhm.
So too would be the haters. But I
There
think
you
to
go.
differentiate the hater and the person,
Mhm.
while the point of data text in the script itself is going to be an isometric triangle, these ones will not be, as they are the evil version of a point of data.
There you go.
I knew you had a script for these streams. Okay, zombie.
Mm.
Okay, so a lot of these have like one or more connecting lines with them.
Yeah.
Okay, so I like the idea of one line up here representing the body of the hater, but a second line down here representing the complex inner turmoils of your average hater on the internet, that
There
which
you go.
lies unseen.
There you go.
What else?
The hiding below the surface, waiting to strike.
Waiting to strike with either the saddest story you've ever heard or the most cutting insult. Who knows? What will the hater unleash?
Very good. Very good.
Those balls don't mean anything yet. I have to think.
These are meaningless balls.
These are meaningless balls.
Balls are meaningless.
Oh god, this is a happy little fuck. Look at him. He's so cheerful.
He grins.
Grins at you. Okay, I like this one. This one's good. They represent when the haters say "suck my balls." Oh. That's a fun shape as well. Kind of a snake.
Oh yeah.
Oh, but I like what we did here. We've made a bridge.
Do you think it would be possible to like take what we have and then just kind of abstract it a little bit? Like we still kind of want because we magically constructed this image of like
Right.
Scott with the slug with the seagull, right? Those are
Right,
all like
right.
important things. We gotta like
That's true.
we should maintain that in a little.
That's
like,
a
in
good
some
point.
way.
I feel like this is a good start, but everything else we add has to be around that. Okay.
Like, if
How
you've got-
to
you've got-
add a seagull. Oh shit, Ciel! Hi!
Oh,
Thank you so much for the raid. We are currently we've currently learned a lot tonight. So you're joining us right at the moment where we learn. That's the sound I make when bugs.
yeah.
So fucking true. Well, we've got one last bug for you tonight, and it's this fucking thing. Right now, we're trying to abstract it.
I like looking at him.
This is our best friend, Scott after the incident. Scott after not surviving.
Scott after we put him in the machine.
Alright, so are there any wing symbols in here that I could draw from? I feel like I need a reference for a wing symbol to represent the seagull nature of the creature. Okay, hold on. I like these. I like these spiral-shaped stacked next to each other. That could be a wing. I like those.
Yeah, there you go.
Alright, so how to make you... What's it called? Ooh. You could preserve the loud, annoying nature the seagull represents by copy-pasting it whole. That's what we're trying to avoid. We're trying...
Fried JPEG. It's like a deep fried JPEG, like rotated 35 degrees.
Oh?
Hmm.
Oh, okay. This is a little bit of a bird.
Yeah, we're getting bird energy here.
I'm seeing a bird hidden within this image. Chat, can you find it? Where the fuck did that leg go? Chat, can you find the hidden bird and win $10 million?
Did you know that a bird is contained within?
Chat, did you know about the hidden bird? What you don't know could save your life. Okay.
It's like a clickbait video.
So that's the bird. Okay. Why are you creating images when you know that capturing objects on paper is the work of the devil? I've got great news, Bubsy1D. No paper was used within the creation of this rune. I cannot speak for any of the knowledge I learned tonight. I think paper was used at various points.
I have paper, but I'm communicating things orally to our friends here. It's different.
It's different. CT is different, okay? Okay, so bird. Hey Clanes, thanks for the follow. Also, thank you for the follow to everyone I've missed tonight.
I've just been having so much wizard fun.
I don't want to interrupt like all of the lectures like every 1 minute with a thanks for the follow. It feels a bit rude to interrupt the teacher. I don't want to have to stay in during recess.
I will try, if I do this again, I will try to add more breaks.
Oh no, it's fine. This is slug-like. Do we believe this to be true?
I agree. That is slug-like.
Okay, I think the bird needs to hover a little. If the slug gets to hover, the bird needs to hover.
They do say that.
They need to be connected. It all needs to be connected. Right now, this is a picture. It is not completed because it's not connected, so they can't hover.
Whole.
They're not allowed to hover. I broke one of the cardinal rules here.
It must be whole.
It must be whole. Okay. The last thing we need to do is have our Scott stand in. He has a tall visage with a hat and an eye. I think that is the most important. Oh, but... Oh, I know. I know exactly what I'll do. Okay. Scott's iconic hat.
Scott's iconic hat.
And now what I need to do is move that up. I appear to have fucked this up. Wait, I could combine Scott and the slug.
There you go. You could slap that Scott right on that slug.
I really could. That's what they're all always saying to me.
They literally never stop saying that to me. I wish they would stop saying that to me.
It's really upsetting how often this is said and pointed out to me.
I really wish it would stop.
It is hellish out here. Oh, and finally, I second that. Make Scout Slug an emote. This thing, you want this to be an emote? You want this to be an emote?
What emotion does this represent?
I'm pretty sure we already have Scott. I'm pretty sure we already have the original Scott. Like, I'll replace Scott Fear if you really want this as an emote. I'll do it.
Chat. So we've got Scott Slug, and that's like the symbol, right? But presumably this is to interface with some sort of spirit, some sort of entity that is not Scott Slug, right? A spiritual hater, as it were. What is the name of this entity? I need y'all to workshop this. Like, we need a working name for this theoretical hater entity.
That's a good point. That's a really good point, actually.
Not strictly necessary, but more names is not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm. Skluggy.
Sluggy? That's pretty solid.
Have you seen this, Scott? Okay. So if I intersect these lines slightly...
Mr. Slut.
Mr. Slut! This filter produced no results. Oh, this filter better produce results. That's it. This bird is being taken to the bird foundry. I don't know.
This bird is being taken to the place where they melt birds.
We have an entire factory dedicated to melting birds now.
The entire industrial district of the city where we melt birds.
Hey, Terra,
Dedicated to melting birds and only this.
That's all we need in here, okay? Did that work? It did. It did exactly what I needed it to. It melted the bird.
The higher streamlet.
Yeah, we're doing
Sounds like a papal office. Like, you've got cardinals and archbishops and high streamlets.
I think that's it. I think once this is inserted... Okay, now I have to properly install this.
You insert it and, like, your computer explodes into blue fire. Like, it just rapidly and explosively activates and kills you with magic.
The rune was too powerful. No, wait, if it's an anti-hater rune, the chat numbers would just drop to 2.
There's only a single pure soul left in chat, and that chatter, Jesus Christ.
Once this rune is complete, we are going to have the rapture of Twitch.tv.
We all get raptured. The rune takes effect and it calls the rapture. You just slot it into place and it's just like off to heaven, I guess.
Well, it was fun while it lasted. Never knew that's how I'd go out. I guess that witch was wrong.
The second viewer is the devil attempting to tempt him in the desert.
Okay, here's something interesting. The forces of the devil are currently working against me. There is something within this rune that is preventing it from being edited. There we go. I managed it. I have triumphed over the devil, and the last thing I need to do is connect these final few shapes and maybe delete some. Maybe remove some Oh! I removed too much! No!
No! We're getting raptured again!
Maybe I have to change strategies on bird placement. I actually like the bird up here. I really wish it would behave when it comes to being conjoined to the thing. But if I copy the thing and then perform the failed conjoining... Oh, never mind. The conjoining just works when I do this. Okay.
Oh, weird.
Weird. But fine, I guess.
You break the rune and all the raptured people come back. They
A bunch
get
of
de-raptured.
a bunch of very angry chat members because I just pulled them out of heaven.
We get raptured and it's just like, "Ah!" And then you break the rune. It's just like, "Ah!"
Well, like that image of the cat being put down, or not image, the fucking yeah. All right.
The Skigler. Oh, hi, Terrafe. We're talking about we're talking about sigil art
Okay.
and whatnot.
Pinned by Kaba? What the? I think Kaba just accidentally pinned a message and then blew it up. I
You need
think
to see this right now.
that was accidental. Okay, I think these two squares here, they are going on what would potentially be Scott's sort of ear. I think they
Okay.
represent the hater's inherent, not sense of fashion, but the stylistic nature, or the nature of haters who have style or think they have style, you know? Like when you get someone in your chat who is talented, right, but is also a dick to you, this rune works against them as well, because you never
Gotcha.
know. If you got like this generation's Mozart hanging out in your chat, they you know what, might be a
What
bit
if he's
of an
toxic?
asshole. Exactly.
Yeah. What if Mozart is toxic?
Exactly. And that's been the whole thesis of this stream.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, people.
What does that mean, James? Hi, Soppy.
You know, the inverted triangles on the bottom there also kind of look like inverted birds. Are you
They
giving him
do.
a ass?
It's a little bit of an ass. It's a little bit of a face for the slug, and it's both.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's
There you
like a
go.
hater. Don't make an ass out of yourself, and you won't
There you go.
and you won't be a hater.
there
Can you think
go.
of anything else we need?
I think you've got this down pat, my friend.
Oh. Should the hat be rounded? Oh, I think the hat should be rounded.
Yeah. Terraface says, I think this needs some Yannick imagery. women can be haters
Women
too.
can be haters too.
Give it a pussy. Tara, love where your mind is going. Don't know if it's going to be appropriate for this stream.
I'll add that off stream and I won't tell anyone.
I like how the second thing Tara said was like, add a pussy.
Message 1, introduction. Message 2, give it some tits.
Add tits. Have you considered the tits?
Let's shrink this thing a bit and see if it. Okay. You know what? I think it might be ready. I think it might
it's
be
ready.
Here we go. Piece of resistance. But say that in French, and it's what I said. Let's export this as a single asset. ×2 scale. Hold on. I'm gonna turn the screen off for chat so they can appreciate its appearance in real time. And
Hell
plus, I
yeah.
don't want to see them looking through my folders. They always make fun of me. And you know what? I just made a rune to stop that. So
Good. Remember, chat, you can't make fun of Jamie anymore. There's a rune.
there's a rune now. There it is.
There's a rune now.
Hey, so there's a rune now.
You may not know this, but there's a rune now.
All right, stop meowing. Appreciate the anti-hater rune.
Yes.
God, fuck yes. Wait. Okay, where is it on
It
the
hath been
fucking overlay?
constructed.
Can I? Wait, where the fuck is it on the overlay? Oh, it's at the very top. It's in front of literally everything.
It's
Wait.
taken over.
It is everything. Can I embed? Oh fuck! I can embed it. It is now permanently embedded. Fuck yes.
Embedded in the stream. It's a part of reality now.
It's integral. It is now a load-bearing rune.
Yeah.
Fuck yes. Oh
This
man.
rules.
Oh man. Well, I'm
I-
gonna unhide the overlay so people can see everything. This was an incredible lesson plan. Thank you so much, CT. This was a lot of fun to learn about. I would absolutely love to come back and finish this alphabet. I would love to make more runes. This was a lot of fun.
I legitimately, this was so much fun to like make and design, and I had a ton of fun like presenting this to everyone and just like talking about all of this shit. And I'm really glad that you had a nice time.
This was so much fun, and it's inspired me. I'm so glad that you liked this idea to do this stream, because I would love to do another one someday. These are
100% agreed. I would love to do something like this again.
all right. Stream over discussion. Well, listen, I'd go for 8 more hours, but I don't want to.
Yeah, but
I'm
have you considered I don't want to?
I'm very sleepy is the problem here. Oh fuck, it's on the end screen too. Holy shit. It fucking damn. That's awesome. I accidentally put it in a fucking 2 overlays at once. Anyway, y'all, thank you so much for being here. CT, thank you so much for the really great lesson plan. This was a lot of fun. Let's see if anyone is online. Stop showing me the fucking... Alright, let's see. I think Lake is playing some Elven Ring. / raid Lake Mojave. Nobody make fun of
Past
me.
Lake's bedtime.
It's past Lake's bedtime? Wait. What? No, it's
Late.
not.
Oh, it's like 7:40. Never mind.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
I'm
they stream
lying.
into like the million of hours of into the early morning.
Yeah, man.
That's what I always say. That's what I always say, and nobody
I'm
makes
always
fun of
saying
me.
that one.
I'm always
Yeah.
saying this. Well, CT, thank you so much for this rune that protects us from haters now. Oh,
Yeah.
fuck yes, that's a good raid message, Atomy. Everyone yell Snake Blast, okay? Snake Blast
Yeah.
all caps. Anyway, this was a lot of fun. Hope we get to do it again. Everyone yell Snake
Yeah.
Blast. Bye, y'all!
Bye.
CT, do you have any messages for the VOD watchers?
Fucking. I hope you enjoyed it. Blast snakes, fuck hard.
Blast snakes, fuck hard.